Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Prizepicks video. This one we are talking about the NBA for Saturday, May 25th. We got Pacers, Celtics, Game 3 here. We have 5 picks in this one for you to consider, so stay tuned to hear all 5 of the picks. But if you guys want more picks, I post more over here, Underdog, Prizepicks, all sports that you guys can get in on, and also post these from the video in the private Discord before the video comes out, so you can get in on these if you want. You can see some massive wins over here. The yellow private Discord members, Coley, back-to-back days hitting 6-pick slips with some of the picks from the private Discord. Also had Hunnit Fam over here hitting some 6-pick slips, another private Discord member. Some huge wins in the Discord, one of our cappers, some big days over here. So if you want access to 5+ cappers, ton of more picks from me, definitely check it out. It'll be linked down below in the pinned comment. If you want to get over there, get more picks, and you guys saw how people winning big over there. So let's get into this one. First off, interesting, Haliburton injured last game, left the game. This one, I'm not sure if he plays, honestly, and I'm kind of leaning towards him not playing, which is going to affect some of these picks in the video. But also, if you don't think he's going to play, it might not even hurt to just take unders on him, especially some of them, like his assists, 8.5. Maybe he goes out there, plays less than 30 minutes, or leaves the game early again. He's, barely been getting there with the assists, 8, 10, 6, 9, 5 in his last 5. So I wouldn't hate going unders, but not going to do that for this video. The first one I'm going to start out with here, it's going to be Myles Turner, a guy that had a really tough game last one, but you got to think that all these Pacers guys played basically under 30 minutes in a closer game. They're at home for this one. I think they'll step it up a little more and have a closer game. I'm going to Myles Turner on the over. He looked dominant in the first game, and playing like 24 minutes in the last one, struggled definitely, but I think he can have a bounce back here, have a nice game. He was rebounding like a monster in the first game over Horford, so I like the rebounds plus the points here. Going to be going to that one. We can take a look at this one over on Outlier. On the season, it's a 53% hit rate. Like I said, we saw last game he played 24 minutes. Game before that, in Game 1, he played 39. So I think this one's going to be closer, and I think he's going to play mid to high 30s of minutes. So, it's pretty crazy when he plays 34 or more minutes this year. It's a 93% hit rate on this line for Turner. Obviously only 14 games. It's not very common for him to play that much. If we get a bigger sample size here, 35 games when he plays 30 or more minutes, a 77% hit rate on this one. And I still like this matchup against Horford, so I'm going to go to Turner here. For the next Pacer pick, I'm going to go to Nembhard. For him, I'm just going to go straight on the points. He's been scoring pretty well all series in the playoffs, and the minutes have definitely bumped up in the playoffs as well. We can take a look at Nembhard on Outlier. I don't know if I mentioned they have a free trial. If you want it for 7 days, use the link down below and you can get in on that. So for the points, 12.5, definitely a higher line than we've seen for Nembhard in a while, or like all season, honestly. 29% hit rate for him in this one, but without Mathurin, he's playing so much more. Without him, bumps up to a 37% hit rate. But also, we got to bump up these minutes because we saw him play almost 35 minutes in the first game versus the Knicks, 33, 37 minutes. So I think he's going to play 32 or more minutes. I have him in for, and especially if Haliburton is limited in minutes or out, we definitely should see 32 or more. It's a 67% hit rate when he does that in 12 games. And he's just been scoring really effectively. If we take out all these filters that you could do on Outlier and just look at his last 10 games as well, it's going to be a 50% hit rate, 3 of his last 4 games. And I think he's going to be more aggressive in this one with Haliburton limited or out. So going to go to Nembhard here. The next pick, I'm going to go to Aaron Nesmith, who, again, kind of sound like a broken record here, but first game, these guys played huge minutes and all had solid games. I think it's going to be a closer one back at home in Indiana, and I think these guys are going to have big games again and play big minutes. So I'm going to Nesmith, the third Pacer on the over here of his PRA. He was just all over the place in the first game, and especially they need him out there for defense on Tatum and Brown. He's their best wing defender. So going to go to Nesmith over on this. It's only a 40% hit rate on the season. Obviously, the minutes all over the place this year, but we saw in that first game he played 39 minutes, obviously overtime, but I think he's still going to see over 30 in this one after, just 24 in the last game because they pulled all their guys. So going to him for at least 32 minutes in this. It's a 61% hit rate. Had a great game in the first one here where he got 14 points, 6 boards, and an assist. And it's had some huge games in the playoffs, so I'm going to go back to Nesmith. I think they need him out there. So going to him now for some Celtics picks. The thing with the Celtics is they have so many guys that it kind of seems like they trade off, who's going to go off in each game. Holiday's had 2 really solid games to start. I think the first game we saw it at 12.5. Last game was 13.5 for his points. Now it's 14.5, so they keep bumping it up. I took it in the first 2 videos both times, and both times it hit. Now I think it's just getting too high, and the rebounds is getting too high at 5.5. So I'm going to go to under on that combo, and we get that at 20.5. Going to take the under for Holiday there. Like I said, too many guys that just spread out the scoring here, and then Holiday at 5.5 boards is just too high as well. So we could look at it on Outlier, and we could see on the season just a 33% hit rate on this line of over 20.5. Obviously, he averaged 33.6 minutes, had 36 in the first game, 48 in that overtime game, 41, 43. So I think we can give him like high 30s of minutes. But even if he plays 34 minutes, it's still just a 37% hit rate on the season. So even with some big minutes, 34 or more, still not a great hit rate here for Holiday on this one. And I think just someone else is going to go off, and could be Derrick White, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, who didn't have a good scoring game. So going to go under for Holiday. He was also very efficient last game, 6 of 7 from the floor, only 7 shots, which wasn't good to see. So just the volume, I don't think is going to be there again, and I don't think he's going to shoot 90% either. So going to take the under there on Holiday. We're also going to go to under on Derrick White. Derrick White had a nice game last one. This was a nice game in a while, especially scoring the ball, but I just think the peripheral stats are pretty high. He needs 5 boards, 5 assists on top of 16 points. So I'm not seeing it for White to get there. The scoring was there last game. I'm taking the under on Derrick White. I still think he could be in for a decent game, but just seems pretty high. On the season, it's only a 44% hit rate, but I do think they spread it around again. So going to go to the under on 2 peripheral guys here of Holiday and Derrick White. I think it's going to be another Jaylen Brown aggressive game, also with Tatum scoring more and Horford playing more than his 25 minutes that he got in the last game. So kind of like those other guys better, but their lines are high as well. So going to go to the unders on some of these guys. Think some of these lines are just too high for the Celtics when they do spread it around a good amount. So if you guys want more picks, I post more underdog prize picks over here in the private Discord. Also, you guys saw the private Discord members hitting a bunch of 6-pick slips recently using the picks from the private Discord. Some cappers hitting some nice slips, giving out some solid picks. A lot of big wins over in the Discord. So we'll see you over there. Subscribe to the channel, and let's have a good day in the NBA and on Prizepicks.